it's Tuba Billy, clear my throat, on yet another gloomy, rainy, just yucky day. We had sun for a little bit, and now we don't. And then the sun will come out, and then it'll go away. And then the sun will come out and go away. It's just how it's going to be. It makes me wonder, though, if it's raining this much in the winter, in January. Well, now we're in February. How much is going to rain in spring, like April? Yeah, there's a lot of traffic up here. So, my wife and I were doing with the family, so doing some reading in the scriptures last night, in the Bible. And I think it was Matthew 4, where it talks about Jesus being tempted. And we actually had a pretty good conversation, especially with my 9-year-old. And I wanted to make the point, what did Jesus say each time he was tempted? It is written. The first temptation, let's see, he was fasting 40 days. He was afterward and hungered. Satan said, take these stones and make them bread so that you can eat. Basically, appealing to his hunger, his carnal needs. And Jesus said, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone. Then, let's see, then he went up to the pinnacle of the temple, and then Satan tempted him, saying, throw yourself off the temple, and your angels will bear you up, for it is written that that basically you won't even dash your heel on a rock. The angels will protect you. So Satan there, using the tactic, it is written, he will use scripture at times out of context to justify sin. So Jesus replied, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So again, referencing the scriptures. And then Jesus was caught away in a vision, beholding all of the kingdoms of the world. And Satan came to him, tempting him, saying, worship me, and all of these will be yours. Which is kind of ironic, because Jesus is the one that created all things. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. And there's nothing created that was not created through him. That thing. So it's tempting him with, giving him riches, power. And Jesus replied, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. So, when we are tempted, we should do the same things. Relying on the scriptures, relying on the prophets, relying on trusted people who we can reference. And I told my 9-year-old, she was at a friend's house, and the friend wanted to watch a movie that we have told her, no, you're not going to watch that movie. It's Turning Red. You know, cute-ish movie, coming of age type of movie, not for a 9-year-old. I don't want her learning all that sass, and she's learning it on her own. But not yet. We'll told her she can watch it when she's a little older, maybe 12 or 13, which is just a couple years. But she was at a friend's house, and her friend was like, hey, you want to watch Turning Red? And my daughter said, no, I'm not supposed to watch that. Let's watch something else. And so her friend just turned it on, and it was Turning Red. And my daughter again said, I can't watch this. We need to watch something else. And finally, the dad who was there listened and said, hey, you know, Gwen doesn't want to watch this. Let's turn it to something else. So I was like, wow, that is so cool that that she did that. Kind of strengthens my trust in her. And I was like, that's awesome. And I said, you know, that's the same thing that Jesus did. Jesus, when he was tempted, said, you know, it's written in the scriptures, you know, thus saith the Lord, you know, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God. And when she was tempted watching a movie that she does want to watch, but we have told her it's, you know, when she's older. Okay, truck, just squeeze right in there. I said, you basically told your temptation, thus saith my mommy, thou shalt not watch Turning Red until thou art of the age of 12 or 13. So I thought that was pretty cool. But we can do the same thing in our own lives. When we have temptations, we can rely on the scriptures, rely on good books, rely on teachings of trusted people. And we could say to ourselves and to Satan, to our temptation, thus saith whatever your support is. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to come down to your level, Satan. Get thee hence. So, yeah, just a little Bible talk this morning, on this gloomy morning. Got a frog in my throat, won't go away. Oh, especially with as tumultuous and as polarized as the world is, you know, there are so many temptations, especially for the kids, to, you know, to conform, to do, you know, to do what their friends, to do what, you know, what's popular, what isn't really right. And we could teach them, like I said in a video a couple weeks ago, you know, teach them correct principles, and they'll govern themselves. Teach them to rely on their knowledge, on their own testimony, to resist those temptations when they come. So, Be excellent to each other. Tuba Billy signing out. God be with you till we meet again.